Welcome. And y'all tuned in to another edition of Homage Speaks. What homage is due, homage is paid. And right now we got to pay ultimate homage to the clash of the Titans that we're about to have this Saturday. You got LSU protecting their home turf in Death Valley and Georgia Bulldogs beginning their run to Atlanta right now, Saturday at 3 p.m. It is one of the biggest matchups, if not the biggest marquee matchup of the weekend. The Georgia Bulldogs going down south, going down to the boot, Louisiana, and going down to Baton Rouge and Death Valley and playing in one of, if not arguably the hardest places to play in the country. I mean, we talking about Death Valley. Death Valley is on record of having an earthquake by the stadium and the fans in the stadium cheering for the LSU Tigers. This was well before Nick Saban made them a powerhouse. Let's get right into it. I want y'all to understand this. This is a marquee game for the careers of Kirby Smart, but it's more so a career game for Ed Orgeron. This game can begin his coaching legacy. This can start. He is about to run through a 4-game gauntlet that is going to be one of the toughest, if not the toughest, schedule in the country in the next 4 games. Let's be clear. They got to play Georgia. Then they got to turn around and play the number 1 defense in the country in Mississippi State. Then they got to turn right back around and play Bama. Then they got to turn right back around and play Auburn. If they can go 3-1 in this stretch or 4-0, hey man, Ed Orgeron, man, you are gonna be legendary in the state of Louisiana. Now, if they go 2-2, that's great. But realistically, I only see 1-3. Kirby Smart, we know what time it is. You've had one job since the beginning of the season. LSU is the team that is in your way right now of getting to Atlanta to see Alabama or whoever so destined come down here to beat you in your home state. You got one job. This team stands in your way. Florida's next. Kentucky's next. You knock them out, hey man, there's going to be some smoke in the city. We here to work. But let's dive right into the game itself. This game is going to be a marquee matchup of the defenses. We got great defenses, but we got some stellar offenses, especially in Georgia. One thing we know about Jake Fromm, hey man, y'all got Jake Fromm, we got Jake Fromm. Everybody is excited about the recruit of Justin Fields, the number 1 dual threat quarterback in the country. But man, Justin Fields, I know he wants to get on the field, but Jake Fromm is not playing with these folks. He is completing 72.8% of his passes, 12 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. Some call him game manager, but boy, hire him for my company because the offense is putting up points and they are steady rolling. They're not turning the football over. They're looking like a machine. They're doing what they need to do. And man, y'all ain't seen them, but the real deal Holyfield, Elijah Holyfield, ooh-wee, he is running the rock. He is waiting his time. He is taking the most advantage of the time. Let's be clear here. But I don't know if y'all know this. DeAndre Swift been looking a little slow this season. He was nursing a hamstring. But on that 35-yard scamper last week, that's the Swift I know. I look for him to have a big game this weekend. Hey, man, let's be clear. Devin White, you want to become the number 1 linebacker in the country? Undeniably. You want to raise your NFL draft status? Well, you got 4 games to prove it, son, because they coming at you. And the only way you're going to be able to solidify yourself as Luke Kuechly or Roquan Smith coming out of college right now. Make some plays in these ball games because you're going to get your opportunities. Because Georgia is not going to shy away from running the football. LSU, hey, man, you got the Ohio State transfer Joe Burrow. Hey, listen, Joe Burrow, he's doing what he can do. But you got to establish Nick Brissett. If you don't establish him, you're getting ran out of your own stadium because Georgia is top 15 in the country. Matter of fact, they're number 15 in the country on third down defense. LSU, I believe they're ranked number 39. But being top 15 in the country, Georgia do a miraculous job of limiting plays on third down. They're giving up 5.2 yards a play on third down. But look for Jake Fromm because I think LSU has a good front seven. No, though they don't have the depth that they normally have, they going to sell out on the run. And I think that Jake Fromm is going to have to make some contested throws. which where my man, Riley Ridley, comes into play. I believe he's one of the top possession receivers in the country. When it comes to attacking the football, he is going to attack the football. That's what he's going to do. LSU got some athletes over there. I don't think they have as many athletes as the Bulldogs have, but they got some players. And they're going to be at home. And they're going to be in purple. And it's going to be loud down there at 3:30. Georgia is entering hostile territory, but this is where Kirby Smart come into play. And his experience being in these type of games year in and year out as an assistant of Nick Saban. Kirby Smart is 8-1 when being favored on the road since he's been a head coach at the University of Georgia. I don't see why that should stop right now. What he has to do is come down here and impose his will. If you allow a team like LSU to be in the game at home with the momentum of their crowd, they will get you. Come down here and show everybody that you're the number 2 team in the country, just waiting to prove that you're the number 1 team in the country. Don't go down here and be in a dogfight and claw your way to a win. No. Statement game tomorrow. Go down here and show the only reason why we're the number 2 team in the country because we respectfully lost to Alabama and they've been smacking folks, playing nobodies, and we just waiting on our opportunity to get them. That's all we waiting on. We just waiting on our time. And in order to get to our time, we got to take care of this time. And I'm telling you right now, the Georgia Bulldogs are coming, and they got to make noise, and it got to be loud. It got to be loud because if they don't come in there and put their feet up on that LSU couch, LSU is going to be in the ball game, and we don't want them in the ball game. And another thing you don't want to do is get a Florida Gators confident because let's be clear here. The Georgia Bulldogs are a more talented team than the Florida Gators, but when you go into that game and that game being a rivalry, Florida don't need any more confidence than they're already going to come in the confidence and come to the game with confidence in. They don't need that kind of energy. What they need is to say, we barely beat LSU at home. We had some questionable calls. They had Joe Burrow. They smacked LSU. That's what they need to be seeing. So when we see them, we're going to smack them too. And the only thing that Georgia Bulldogs need to do, Kirby Smart need to do, Jake Fromm, Swift, and all the other Bulldogs, the leaders of these teams, what they need to realize is that we need to go down here and establish ourselves as the most physical team, the bigger, faster, stronger, more athletic team. Go down here and take care of business because we got stuff we got to do. We got one job the entire season up until that point, and that's to get back to Atlanta to play the winner of the SEC West. But y'all know who I got. I got Georgia Bulldogs. I got the Georgia Bulldogs taking care of business. I got them playing a sound game, executing their offense. Jake Fromm's going to throw for about 250, two touchdowns, no interceptions. A lot of people got him. A lot of people I've seen have him predicting that he's going to throw interceptions, but he hasn't thrown interceptions all year. He's very careful with the football. Georgia Bulldogs have done a miraculous job all season in being ahead of the change. He's looking at 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 1. The whole playbook is open, and they've done a great job of executing the offense. It kind of remind me of the old Bama squad. It kind of remind me of the old Bama squad where they just beat you physically all game long. Now that beach down there in Alabama, the tide is rolling. Because Tua Tagovailoa, man, he is throwing the ball all over the field. I mean, this guy had 300 yards and 4 touchdowns in a half. But make no mistake about it, LSU is coming. They're going to run that toss lead, and they coming at you. Georgia Bulldogs, this is a great game for those defensive line, that front seven, to establish themselves as one of the most dominant units in the country by shutting down this attack. 15 carries for 95 yards for Nick Brissett. They're going to try to run him again. They're going to feel like he didn't have enough carries against LSU, which was the reason why they lost that game. LSU's coming. Bulldogs, you better be ready. But I got Georgia winning, and I got them winning real comfortable in this game. Got to win it by 17 because I just don't see LSU getting points unless Georgia giving points. And with that being said, thank y'all for tuning in, and this marks another edition of Honey Speaks.